so interesting because it's not I mean, the beauty with Conlock as a product range is that it looks so similar to the traditional stuff. With other products like roller tray, for example, they're harder to get that because they are brand new. You know, they look brand new. But trying to get through to the people that really are against it, it's just like a losing battle, and we can't. It's so difficult for us to. What you're saying is exactly the reason that we made these products, is to help you, the end user, and the wider industry, obviously. But I think people think we're like snake oil salesmen, which we're not.
No,
not anymore.
It's genuine. It's there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just I can't get my head around why you wouldn't use it.
To be honest, now I've used Conlock, I much prefer if it's in the spec that I can actually use Conlock, or ask the question if they're okay with us using Conlock.
Yeah.
Or we'll go to the Conlock route. Yeah. Because time saving, it's a lot easier to work with because, like we're saying, just the running coupler, for instance, you haven't actually got to do any of that. You can actually put piece by piece up, so it's less stress on it. You're not having to take things back up, back down. Yeah. You can actually just do it individually, work around it, or you can actually come back to something and do a change.
Yeah.
Where on the ceiling, normally you're having to take the whole lot down, redo it, where with the Conlock in literally under the 2mm Allen key on it, pull that piece out. Oh yeah, I'll change that now that we're adding an extra socket in, for instance. I can put a T in there instead of an angle box. Yeah.
Do you think this is an example where people are just looking at cost of an item versus cost of an item, ignoring the install cost, installing the install time, the thinking time?
Possibly, but then in the same argument, if the customer's accepted the price anyway, the customer's paying for the materials in a sense.
Yes.
After the job's paid off, the customer's paying for the materials, not yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's in with your own dedicated price.
Yeah.
So in that being said, with how it is, they're not actually paying for the product themselves, even though, for instance, it might be £2-3 extra.
Yeah.
But if you work it out in the long run, if you've got 10 angle boxes and it's come to £30, where normally it's like £2 a bend or whatever else, that time you've saved, that's less than paying one person how long.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like on an hourly rate.
Exactly.
Does this also enable you to give a more accurate quote at the beginning because you know the length of time it's going to take, because you're not getting problems and recuts and remeasures coming up?
Yeah, so for instance, we were doing a school last week. We had the confirmation that we could use Conlock on there being agreed. We put it all in place and they said to us, hey, it took you like 2 days to get all the tube work in place. I was like, well, that's the joyful side of Conlock.
Yeah.
Because you're not having to thread. He's like, well, I didn't notice you didn't have a threader, but you had your pipe voice doing all your bends and that. I says, well, that's a good thing. Because for one, if you're working in a congested area, you've not got all thread and paste all on the floor, walking through the rooms. Don't get me wrong, we do put Correx down on the floor anyway when we've got any tube or anything like that in case it does mark the floors. But for instance, if anybody knocks out over like the cutting paste, or you go to bed on the floor and you stand on it, you walk it through or whatever else, you're not having to actually take that on site now.
Yeah. So probably the best innovation since the Makita battery radio.
I'd say Milwaukee, but
we all have our favourite brands.
We do.